that doesn't really add up. That takes away the responsibility of understanding. No, you are subject to the elements just like everybody else. You're subject to the hating. You're subject to people throwing a wrench in your plans. You're subject to all that. You are the one who has to control that by making sure that you become a good manager of your circle. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Alyssa and I am here to drop a little gemmy gem on you. Okay, so I see a lot of talk about being selective and I only roll with a few. My circle's so damn tight, only sandbox F with me, and that's all good and dandy, but I want to talk a little bit behind the thinking of why being selective is key. When you know where you're headed, it's a lot easier to know who needs to come with you and who needs to stay back. Okay, you can go ahead and stay back. You can come along because there's this thing that happens when you are fully understanding where you're going. Your brain becomes a siphoning tool for what's going to help you get there and what's going to actually deviate you from your goal, what's going to get you off your trajectory. So when you're thinking about, does this career support the growth, the place that I want to go? Do these friendships support me? Does my family support me? Asking yourself those really hard questions. The way that you really get down to the nitty gritty of that is to really ask yourself and say, hey, what is my goal? What is my purpose? So that's I'm going to do another video on that, on purpose, if you don't know yours yet, because more recently I started to understand mine. So if you are interested, let me know down below. But as far as selectivity, you always want to make sure that you know where you're going, because it's like me getting into the car and I don't have a destination in the GPS. We're just going to sit around. Sometimes if you don't even know where you're going, the beautiful thing about the GPS is if you just start riding and you have a destination, you at least know roundabout, it's going to tell you whether you're going the opposite direction or you need to start going further, you need to go west, your ass is going north or south. It helps you get back on track. So today I really want to hone in on what selectivity means and how we can be more selective. All right, so I'm gonna try to do numbers. I may continue that throughout the video, I may not, right? But for number one, how to remain selective. You want to make sure that the circle that your tightest circle, I'm talking about the ones that you talk to every day, the ones who hit your phone in the morning, whether it's your mother, right? Whether it's your bestie, whether it's your damn kids, right? Just whoever it is, you just want to make sure that they understand where you're going. A lot of times we have to communicate that. We have to get better at communicating who we are and what we are doing. So that way people can support us, because it's so popular to say, oh, you didn't support me when I was in the gym. Well, damn, I didn't know what you was doing. I didn't even know you was in the gym. Right? So give your loved ones a chance to acknowledge where you are, see where you are, and understand where you are. So by you vocalizing that, hopefully they understand. We can't control how they receive us, but what we can do is try to make sure that the ones closest to us have a deeper understanding of what our purpose is, so that way they can be more supportive. Okay, so that's number one, definitely convey that. Number two, granted, they're not supportive, or they seem to be throwing a wrench in it, or there's a little bit of, I don't know, maybe envious energy because they're kind of stuck and you're trying to grow. That's when you kind of want to alter how you move. You can't change people. We need to alter our behavior, right? Like an example is like the wife who stays with the cheating man and she gets mad at the mistress. Being mad at the mistress just absolves you from having to leave or do whatever hard decision you don't want to do, right? So being mad at other people in your circle absolves you from the responsibility of having to say, you know what, this doesn't suit me, so now I have to change my shit up. Like now I gotta change my day or how I go about it or what friend circles I entertain, what career I have. And it puts the weight back on you. No, it's not fun, but it's necessary. And the best thing about that is that the outcome will always be that the control is in your hands. When you feel out of control is when you're more likely to be upset at other people and why this, why that. That's like being mad that the wind is blowing and that you're subject to feeling the wind blow. Now my lace from my whole kufi done came off from the wind and now I'm mad at the wind for the day. That doesn't really add up. That takes away the responsibility of understanding. No, you are subject to the elements just like everybody else. You're subject to the hating. You're subject to people throwing a wrench in your plans. You're subject to all that. You are the one who has to control that by making sure that you become a good manager of your circle, right? So that's number two. Now, number three, as far as maintaining being selective so that way you can hit your goal, it's number one, know your goal. right? Like, what is your goal? Let's say, okay, I want to become an astronaut who just studies Mars. Like, that's very specific. That's really, really specific. Let's say you're not even that specific. Let's say I always wanted to become a dancer, but I don't know if I want to do hip hop. I don't know if I want to do ballet. I don't know if I want to, hit that country thing, whatever, the square dancing thing. I don't know what kind of dancing I want to do, but I know that I want to dance, right? So just by knowing that, you should know around about, you should be taking dance classes, right? You should be stretching. Dancers are generally flexible. So think in terms, like, think backwards from Z to A. You know where you want to be, even if you're a little bit fuzzy on it, but at least you can think from there, and then that can inform your steps as you progress toward your outcome. And the thing is, the outcome comes clearer as you progress upon that path. You can, from point A, you can't really see Z, but when you get to H or L, it's like, oh, I can see M. I know what I got to do to get to M, and so forth and so on. So I personally think that's how growth works. You don't need to know everything. So that leads me to my next point is take the how out of the equation. That's when you rely on the higher power, whether you call it Allah, energy, God, whatever it is. That's when you rely on the universe to go ahead and conjure those things for you. Because all you got to do is a little bit. Once you make that intention known, everything else is handled. You don't need to worry about the how. You know how many times you have done something in life and you're like, oh my gosh, if I wasn't here on this day, this would have never happened to me. Or if I didn't take that chance to do this, I would have never done this. Do you think that was coincidental? No, it was not. That's you continuing to hack away at what you want, being kind of clear on it, and taking some real concerted and intentional effort toward that. So now the higher power is like, oh, copy, like she's going crazy. Like, let me make sure that I deliver this to her or to him, right? So that's also how you want to go about it. You're not going to know everything. And it also is an excuse too, by thinking you need to know exactly how to do something. You just need to know that you need to go and you need to do it. You need to take that first step. Okay, so that is summing up what I wanted to kind of put forth in this video. I hope this really resonated with somebody. Let me know down below if there's anything from this video that you can take personally that helps you be a bit more selective. Let me know if you're finding your purpose, where you are in that journey, and also give me some ideas for some videos, because I'm really looking forward to just exchanging with you guys. So that way we all come here and get what we need. So thank you so much for watching. See you next time.